Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. We're there. There's a new bully. I'm your host, Leroy, aka the one in between all, with my co-host.
This is Eli, aka Man's Not Hot.
I love that episode. All right, so we got back into the episode, and Eli asked me this. Well, do you want the good news? Or you want the bad news?
Let's start with the bad. Let's go with
start with the bad. Okay, let's just jump into the bad news. Okay, so bad news is we're going to say rest in peace to Joel Schumacher, famed director who has been making movies since forever. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Boom.
Batman Forever.
Yeah, Kiss from a Rose.
That's right.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He's done a lot of other stuff other than just Kiss from a Rose or Batman Forever. Eli, give me some movies that he's done. I know you know a bunch of them.
Oh, well, Falling Down is a favorite of mine. He did that. Of course, he came up in the 80s doing, St. Elmo's Fire, which was really popular because it had the Brat Pack, all the teeny bopper stars of the 80s. Although that was like their first adult movie, St. Elmo's Fire. He did one of my all-time favorites, The Lost Boys.
I wish I had that gif of that muscle-bound saxophone dude.
Oh yeah, I Still Believe.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the ending song now? Damn it.
Well, I mean, it could be. I didn't have an idea.
But yeah, he did. I think he made like the Phantom of the Opera film the musical. He adapted that into a movie. He's had a very eclectic career, but also made some of my favorite flicks: Lost Boys, Falling Down.
No, A Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill. That's right.
Yeah, A Time to Kill. He did a lot of those John Grisham movies, like around the 90s and stuff like that.
Courtroom dramas.
Yeah. Also, Phone Booth.
Did he do that?
He did Phone Booth. Yeah.
Wow.
Phone Booth was an amazing movie. I don't know what happened. I think it was around I think they might even pull the movie because they think it had like correlation between 9/11, or they think it reminded many people of 9/11, so they might pull the movie. It didn't get as much play, but that was an awesome movie.
Yeah, a terrorist movie. I mean, Falling Down got a lot of shit when that was released.
Yeah, I mean, hell, the Joker movie. People that haven't seen Taxi Driver think the Joker movie is a ripoff of Falling Down.
Yeah. I mean, and that's about a guy essentially going postal before that became, dare I say, fashionable.
And the funny thing is that when you watch Falling Down in a different perspective, when you're older, you realize that he was the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I was younger watching the movie, I was like, I'm rooting for this guy, but no, he was a fucking asshole. He coming to McDonald's, they tell him that he's past breakfast. He flips the fuck out because it's 11:05. They have rules, guy. Bring your ass earlier. That is not a reason to just flip the fuck out. So.
I mean, at the time, he's sort of rebelling against the frustrations of living in a corrupt society, and he sort of lashes out at all that, and it's kind of cool.
Society.
Yeah, it's kind of cool watching that. But okay, here's story time.
Okay.
I saw Falling Down first time in the theater on acid. Usually,
and we just got demonetized. Thank you.
Usually, when I'm putting my shit on my sleeve now. When I did that, back in my those days, when I did that sort of thing, whenever I went to a movie on acid, obviously I did it more than once. I usually went. I dropped like an hour or two before the movie started. That way I went in tripping, but this time we were running late and we decided, like 10 minutes before the movie started, I dropped, we went in and the movie started. And essentially the movie is about a guy slowly going nuts, and it started getting more intense. And as he starts getting crazier and crazier and doing more fucked up shit through the movie, I started really like, wow, this is getting intense. And then I totally forgot that I dropped acid. And so at the time when I think he pulls the guns out and starts shooting, that's when I remember, like, oh shit, I'm tripping and I'm gonna like feel like this for a long time. And I was in the theater and it was all dark and my cousins were with me and I got all like, okay, just chill, calm down. Everything's cool. Just watch this movie about a crazy guy losing his mind.
Right.
So it was a very intense acid trip. My first that particular night watching Falling Down. So,
Well, see, there you go. Joel Schumacher gave you a trip down memory lane. Literally a trip down memory lane.
And of course, Lost Boys is one of my favorite flicks. I watched that movie on the reg, So.
Right. That's the Muscle Bound saxophone guy.
Yeah, my cousin, she hated horror flicks, and when I would go visit her in the summer, in New York, that was one of the few horror movies she liked because it had the Coreys in it. And she was all into the teeny.
That's kind of the movie that kind of made them. Well, Goonies, of course, but that was kind of the movie that made them, right?
And she was all into Teen Beat and Bop. She read all those teeny bopper magazines.
Tiger Beat,
yeah. So that was one of the few horror flicks that she could handle because the Coreys were in that flick. Oh, we got a listener. Hi, man. What up, Marion Guerrero?
Marion
Guerrero. What up, yo? Thanks for tuning in.
What's going on? Yeah.
In fact, let me share that link out.
Yeah, you shared the link, and I shared a couple times too. Now, while you're doing it and sharing the link out, trying to get our viewers up, let's address the elephant in the room because the one thing that people only know Joel Schumacher for, just like we talk about Martin Scorsese, people just know him for gangster movies. People only know Joel Schumacher. When you say Joel Schumacher, you just know him for one thing: Batman and Robin, or Batman Forever, and basically the guy that killed Batman. That's what people kind of relate him to. And Eli, even though he apologized for those movies, I don't think he should apologize. I think he was justified for the movie. And not only, yes, first off, we know that it was mandated for him to make those type movies because the toy company was running those movies. Like, you put whatever movie we're gonna make for McDonald's, you put this in the movie, blah blah blah, stuff and stuff. But here's the thing: what Joel Schumacher was doing, all he was doing was just remaking the '60 TV show,
basically. And for the '89, Batman was like Star Wars for a lot of kids at the time. That blew up. Bat shit, crazy everything.
Right.
Merchandising. And so a lot of kids got into Batman. And by the time he came around, like, fuck it. Kids are the ones who are watching these movies. Let's market it to kids.
Right.
And that's essentially, they're kids' movies.
And that's all he was doing.
Yeah.
So, but people want to get pissed off about that because if you look at the old '60 TV show, they're basically doing like the old '60 TV show would take like a famous actor at the time and put him in the villain role, like Cesar Romero and Burgess Meredith, things like that. That's all he was doing. So that's why he took Arnold Schwarzenegger. Basically in those TV shows back then, the bad guys always outshined the hero. The bad guys were the draw. So that's why you had Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze because he was the biggest box office draw in the '90s. So just stick him in the movie, and just have him just ham it up. And honestly, you can complain about Mr. Freeze all you want to. You remember everything he did in the movie.
And Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Jim Carrey stole that movie. Oh, let's see what else we got.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Emphasize the who?
Empathize the you.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it said I can't. Yeah, I need glasses. I'm getting old.
I need glasses too.
Emphasize the you.
Yeah, we are the okay boomers, like prequel.
Yeah.
But what we're saying about that is that's what he was doing. He was taking. That's why it was so campy. There was corny. There was so many jokes. That was and Eli, can I bring up something else that I don't know if I should bring this up? I think I know another reason why people didn't like those Batman movies that he made. They were too gay. They were too gay.
I suppose. Well, I think Joel Schumacher was gay. He might have been
openly gay, not even hiding. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying it in a derogatory manner. I'm not saying it like that. I'm actually meaning like he made.
That's right. The bat nipples and the bat
nipples, the bat ass, also that. Yeah. He made the movies gay on purpose. First off, the way watch Batman and Robin as Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne as a romantic couple. The movie makes a lot more sense about what they do.
Hey,
and plus,
Frank Miller was addressing that shit in The Dark Knight
with Batman and Joker. But the thing is, when Frank Miller did it, it was a lot more nuanced. Like, it was just in your face. Well, it was because they was fighting the tunnel of love. So he wouldn't be a soul about that shit either.
But the fact that he turned Carrie into Robin, that sort of, he always sort of took that dig at Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne might have been kind of a creep.
Right,
No, we
but
don't.
Joker was flat out gay in The Dark Knight Returns. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
he just
Yeah.
was. I mean, reread it again. There's nothing we're making
Yeah.
up. Frank Miller was just flat out saying it.
Batman, darling. You
Yeah,
know.
right. Now back to Joel Schumacher. Now, why this? Is what I'm saying. Why? Then the movie, if you watch it again, you can spot the gay overtones in the movie, not just Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. Also, notice how there's a lot of muscular men in that movie. Like all the bad
It's been
villains.
a while, but I do recall.
You don't remember the big muscle dudes in them? Okay.
I remember Bane. Bane was in one of them.
Bane was in one of them. But the point was, okay, even when they drive, like watch the statues. Like when they're driving by all the statues in Gotham City, they're just big, huge, muscular men holding up, and they're just driving like through their legs and shit like that while they're doing like fights and shit like that. Also, Eli, one of the bad guys' hideouts is a Turkish bathhouse.
Yeah, I don't.
Now,
I'm gonna confess, I didn't see Batman and Robin till like a few years ago.
Watch that on acid.
You see, I don't speak Spanish, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need an interpreter. So
sorry. You know, shout out to
Translate,
Argentina.
Yeah,
dudes from Argentina.
Hey, we appreciate you watching. But yeah,
yeah.
But that's the whole thing. I was saying, like, they got a Turkish bathhouse. You have muscular men. You have like show tune numbers popping out just anywhere. All the flashlight stuff like that. It's basically like it was a theater show.
It was a Broadway musical.
It was a Broadway musical. That's basically what he was doing.
Yeah. And
I think that was so. Now, Frank Miller doing it in a comic is different because a lot of times in a comic, you take in what you like. A lot of times in comics, you have to interpret that stuff. In movies, that stuff just jumps out at you. Like there's no interpretation for it. It's just at you. So when you get Turkish Bathhouse, muscle-bound statues, light shows like a musical, bright lights and everything, bat nipples, bat ass, yes, that stuff is going to jump out at you, and I think subconsciously that might have turned people off.
Yeah, well, I remember not liking Batman Forever because it was more geared for kids, but also I was watching the animated series at the time, and they ripped off the ending to one of the episodes with Two-Face where he flips the coin and Batman takes out
They ripped off a lot of shit.
Yeah,
Mr. Freeze origin came from, like, Mr. Freeze origin in the Batman and Robin movie came from the cartoon.
Yeah. And where Batman throws up all the coins to fuck up Two-Face when he flips his coin. I was like, that's right out of the animated series. And I'm like, man.
Well, to be fair, I actually saw a YouTube video the other day where Batman Begins ripped off some shit from that cartoon.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like how he beat Scarecrow, and he started turning into like a big giant bat because Scarecrow's freaking out because he sprayed himself. That shit happened in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, rest in peace, Joe Schumacher. Can we move on? Wait, let me see what this.
I have a family. Right on, yo.
I hope they're not getting kidnapped. This. Let's move on to the next. Okay, that was the bad news. Can we talk about the good news? This is good news for me. This is good news for me. Boom, get out of that. Okay, so Eli, for the first time, Mississippi did not Mississippi. This is good news for me. This ain't shit to do with comic books, anything like that. Just some shit I just want to talk about.
That's probably good news during our current times.
Good news. Look, I had to post this. Mississippi has finally took down the Confederate flag, and the reason they did it is not because the people voted for it, because they already knew what was going to happen if the people voted for it. It was going to put it back in office again. So the the legislation in the Senate just went ahead and voted, just like take it down, fuck it, because the city started losing money. Everybody in the entire country started boycotting Mississippi. We're not going to trade with you. We're not going to have sports events. We're not going to have events until you take the flag down. So they had no choice. So, bravo. Hey, we get shit done. Shit is getting done in 2020, even though everything else is fucked up.
Yeah.
I want to see with that one. What else we got? What's other news with that one? Can we talk about, since we own Batman and we jump to racism, let's jump back to Batman. This show is all over the place. That's how we do it. So yeah. So Eli, let's talk about Michael Keaton or The Flash. Because they're making maybe a Flashpoint type movie, which is going to just jump off this, because here's the thing. This thing is not confirmed yet. He's in talks. That's all.
I was about to say, are they really making it?
Yeah, they just say it's in talk. For all we know, this Flash movie might just fall apart again.
They've been trying to make a Flash movie for like 10 years.
Right. It was before the first TV show came out. So the thing about it that Michael Keaton is in talks to sign on to the Flashpoint movie, and what things I'm hearing is that it's not going to be like a one picture deal. It's going to be like a multi-picture deal where he's going to kind of be like the Nick Fury of the DCEU. Eli,
Okay.
I hate this idea. DC has found a way to fuck up something that's a layup again with these movies. This is all they had to do. This is all they had to do.
Yeah.
All they had to do is make a Flashpoint movie, put Ezra Miller or whoever the fuck you want to put in those movies. Have Jeffrey Dean Morgan play Thomas Wayne. It's a layup. It's easy. Also, since the only thing that does work in these movies is Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot, bring them back. Make a Civil War with those two. Throw Cyborg in there too. Please in there. And there you go. So you got a Flash movie that's really like a pseudo halfway Justice League movie that puts everything back on track. And after the movie is done, if you want to recast Bruce Wayne or do whatever the hell you want to do, you can do it. But you're gonna take the most awesome twist of that movie and just throw it out the window? Why?
Just make the Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton.
They could have did it afterwards. They could have did this and then do the Batman whatever Beyond afterwards. So, but I think I understand their train of thought. What they're thinking is that because Jeffrey Dean Morgan doesn't put butts in the seats like Michael Keaton does. Like Michael Keaton, even the rumor of that, people just went nuts over that. Where Jeffrey Dean Morgan, there was also the same rumor about him signing. No one cared.
Yeah.
Even though he's an awesome actor, but it's all about what's going to put more.
This is before he did Negan, and still,
right. Right, because people wanted him to play. It just makes sense. He was already playing Thomas Wayne in the Snyderverse. Just have him as Thomas Wayne. But I guess they're still trying to distance themselves from that. So I don't know. It's just stupid. I don't know. All right. Can we move on past that? Okay. Yeah. So we went to Batman to racism to Batman. Let's go back to racism. So this is a big thing right here. Let me set the picture up for this. This is the big boy right here. This is the big boy we're talking about right here. So for those that don't know, people that don't watch Community, so Community is under hot water right now. Apparently the hot water they're under is because they not only Netflix and Hulu has deleted probably one of their best episodes that they have. And the episode was called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. And the reason they deleted it is because of this. Yes. Senior Chang, this is not Senior Chang because it's season 2. He dressed up as a dark elf. But it made it look like, and I'll show one more time, and I'm just looking like that. If you can look at it, it almost makes him look like it's also blackface. So he was playing a dark elf, look like blackface. They say it's blackface, and everybody's so sensitive nowadays, they had to delete the not edit the episode, just delete the whole episode, just get rid of it.
Yeah, Shirley addressed it in the episode, which is hilarious.
Like everybody addressed it in the episode. Yeah. Shirley addressed it. Pierce addressed it.
Pierce even said it at the end.
Even Pierce said Pierce is the most racist dude on the show.
Yeah, he's the boomer of the show. He said it,
right.
I mean, and they made fun of that. They made fun of all that. They addressed all this.
They even call him Al Jolson, which is a famous blackface or infamous blackface actor back in the 1930s that made blackface famous. So they knew what they were doing. It wasn't like it was insensitive. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And he was like the first character to get killed off.
What was that? Where Troy makes the Twitter profile
things racist old man says, or
racist
something.
Old white guy or something, and he tweets everything he says.
Right.
And then Pierce says, "Hey, this guy thinks just like him."
Right.
I mean, the show addressed all that,
But the thing is that people are so, triggered nowadays that they probably haven't even seen the show. They just saw a meme or a GIF of a dark elf. Like I said, it's just a dark elf, like in Thor: The Dark World. That's
even
it.
Says that I'm a drow or a drow. Right. I always pronounce
Apocalypse or something. Whatever we call ourselves. Yeah.
Brutalitops or whatever. But
whatever.
I actually read some Dungeons and Dragons book. Yes, I'm a nerd. Drow, those are night elves. They live in caves in the dark, the Underdark. That's what they're black.
Right. That's just how they are in Dungeons and Dragons.
You know,
So,
they
but
don't
at the
ever
same
see
time,
sunlight. You know,
right.
they're just black elves, dark elves. That's what they're
Now,
called.
to be honest with you, in Gomer's podcast, I think they said they're deleting those dark elves in Dungeons and Dragons also because of all this shit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's wokeness out of control.
Yeah. So they're doing everything but like not killing colored folks.
Right. Like, let's take down Sir, you know.
Yeah.
And I get that, you know, SERP, and because those are stereotypical racial images, but they're getting so crazy about it, they're taking like all the SERP away. Like Mrs. Butterworth. Mrs. Butterworth is white. They get rid of her. Like, what the fuck?
I guess I never thought of that because she's in this brown box.
Right. Like, you just can't get rid of just everybody. You know, like, people are just getting out of hand right now, you know. And but the thing about this, let's talk about this Advanced Dungeons and Dragons episode again. Okay, so even if you had a problem with the one scene that they addressed in that scene, you're gonna throw away everything else that they talked about in the episode because they dealt with some heavy shit in that episode.
Yeah, that is one of the greatest. Well, it's one of my favorite Community episodes of all time. But yeah, it's just that episode goes into some very dark very serious topics it tackles.
Right, because they dealt with bullying, they dealt with depression, it even deals with suicide. The whole episode is about suicide.
Yeah, they thought Fat Neil was going to kill himself. So they decide that's what the episode is about. It's about this character they call Fat Neil. He's a D&D nerd, and they think he's going to kill himself. So
because nobody in the school likes him. Yeah.
So Jeff organizes a D&D game with them to keep this kid from committing suicide. That's the plot of the episode.
Right. But the thing is, they don't spell it out. They never just outright say it. But all they say is that this is a life or death situation.
Yeah.
Because they know what's going to happen if they don't do this. And like Pierce is one of the people like that it wasn't spelled out to. He doesn't get it. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So he's
Pierce
just out there.
Pierce is an asshole. They think he's leaving him out. He comes in, starts being Pierce. Pierce is a dick. You know, it's a great. As dark as that show is, as that episode is, it's fucking hilarious. That was the episode.
It's like it juggles so many things. But it's comical. It's nerdy. Like, even if you're not into that, like, I don't know shit about Dungeons and Dragons, but the way they did it, it made it so damn interesting. You're like, oh damn, the stakes are so high. You know? Yeah.
Troy's like, isn't there something to Jenga or something?
Right. Hector the Well Endowed or some shit. Whatever.
That was Hector the Well Endowed. but yeah, I mean, that was the episode that hooked me on the show. Like, I had been watching it because I said I was watching The Office, and it came on between like The Office and something else I was watching.
The Office got episode deleted too.
Oh, I'm sure
it just happened right before we.
Yeah, so I would catch episodes of Community, you know, here and there, and I remember like the paintball. I remember laughing here and there. But it wasn't until the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons episode where I'm like, okay, I'm watching this show from now on. I'm putting it on my DVR. This show is great. It was that episode, you know, and it's just sad that they don't.
You're like throwing out the baby with the bathwater. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, we just want equality. We just want equality. We don't.
Right. You don't have to.
You don't need to ruin everything.
Right.
You know?
I mean, like I said, I'm hearing like HBO Max getting rid of Gone with the Wind. Why? Yeah, we understand the stuff that Gone with the Wind. That's why we need that stuff in there. We don't need to erase everything that ever happened. Some of the stuff we need to remember it happened.
Yeah.
Because those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. That's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to get Disney getting rid of Song of the South, but you're going to keep Peter Pan.
Right.
Yeah. I know what makes the red man red, motherfuckers.
Right.
You know.
So I mean, and some of this stuff I get it. Now we're talking about Community, but there's other stuff also, like the Cleveland Show, you know, or Family Guy, not Family Guy, The Simpsons, for instance. You know. Now the thing about The Simpsons, you know, like they're not going to have a white guy voicing the pool before. That's actually been a thing that people have been voicing for decades.
Yeah.
You know, like people's like, I can't even watch The Simpsons because not just because a white guy was voicing him, but because he was just pretty much a stereotype. on TV, and it's so few people own, so few people of color own TV. That anytime you see any person of color on TV, you pretty much think that person represents the entire race.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful about the stuff you do. So people been complaining about that also. Now about the Cleveland show, I'll be honest with you, Eli, I've never seen that show before.
I've seen it here and there.
Here's the thing about the show. The Cleveland show seems like a black show written by white people.
I think it is.
It seems like it is. So just like, nah, I'm good. I'm okay. So not that I'm boycotting anything like that. It just seems just something not right about that show in it today. But that's the thing why. That's why I do think, because here's the thing. If you get a white guy voicing a black guy, isn't that also blackface? You could argue it is. I
never thought about that, but that's a good question.
Yeah. Especially if you're using slang and stuff like that. Just saying. I mean, even when you see stuff.
Because Family Guy, they went out of their way to find a person with Down syndrome to play a Down syndrome character, voiced the Down syndrome character on the show. So you would think, if like we said, we always say representation matters, and
we know it's comedy, but at the same time, this is things,
Yeah, I mean, we know when we're getting, as people of color, we know when we're getting made fun of.
Right. It's a difference between being laughing with you and laughing at you. It's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, and we could take a joke so many times before it gets redundant, and I'm done with it,
Right. And a lot of times we're not going to boycott anything like that. We're just going to be like, this shit isn't for us. That's why, honestly, a lot of people of color can't get into comics or sci-fi or fantasy overall shit like that, because they know when they see Lord of the Rings or they see anything like that and they see an orc or a dark elf, that's a black person. I can't watch this shit. I already know where you're going with this, So you get that xenophobic, racist mentality. It just turns off, people that it's not the target demographic, to just get away from it. So let me get off a tangent. What are we talking about? You know what? It all kind of I think they were trying to make a point in Community. Now I just finally get that with the dark elf, with black people. That's the point they were trying to make. Yeah.
Shirley even says, so we just going to ignore that hate crime?
Right. And I think, like she said, racism
one of the
aside
funniest
or something.
lines in the show.
Right. Oh, man.
And that's like and that's the reaction. She saw the guy in
like you see, like, what the hell? But at the same time, like I said, I'm pretty sure if you go to like a Dungeons and Dragons thing or anything like that, you would see that, and most people wouldn't think anything about it.
And his reply is so nerdy, like, no, I'm a dark elf. I'm
Brupocalypse or whatever, the drow.
Magic user, baby.
Oh man, can we move on past that one? I mean, pretty much we said over there. Basically, don't take the shit too far. Don't erase everything. Some of this stuff we need to, because some of this stuff is a product of our time.
I believe that I'm a believer in art. Art raises questions and it expresses, ideas. And I hate censorship of art. I don't give a shit what it is, even if it is racist. Mm-hmm. That if it forces us to confront these ideas, and that's what it's for. When you start censoring it and erasing it and canceling it, then what are we going to learn from it?
Right. It doesn't help anybody doing that stuff. So.
I mean, it all comes down to taste to me. Take your taste. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's my bottom line,
Right. Or even if you can't watch it, but depending on how it's done, that's the thing. Like it's the same thing. Even if it's bad, you still shouldn't be erased. I mean, we live in America. If you got nothing else, you should have freedom of speech.
There's exploitation art that's out. Some of my favorite movies are exploitation that are just violent and bloody or whatever, offensive just to be offensive. Mm-hmm. And but even still, that there, there's creativity in that, and whether you like it or not is not the point. It's the fact that it should exist.
Right, because if you don't like it, you're free to just ignore it. Yeah. Or you're free to comment and talk about it. That's even better. Like if you don't like something, you can comment and talk about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
just
I mean,
race, no, that's
yeah,
wrong.
like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get why Gone with the Wind would be problematic nowadays. The movie was made like 100 years ago. So,
Right.
so yeah, I get that. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have any artistic merit. You
Right.
know, learn from it. It's one of the most influential films of all time. It paved the way for cinema, you know?
Right. And even
know?
the racist parts of Gone with the Wind are things that make a good talking point.
Yeah, evolved. I mean, like that Mammy was an evolution, you know, that was bad representation of black people in cinema. But
Exactly. So you'll
look
know
what we
what
got
not
now.
to do.
Yes, we go, but look at from Mammy to Get Out. That's
Right.
evolution. Don't erase that. Don't get rid of that. Don't cancel it just because it doesn't fit our idea of what art should be now. You know, that it's all evolved. We evolve, we change our ideas. We're constantly learning, you know,
Eli,
constantly.
you called it about 2 or 3 years ago. Cancel culture is going to get out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like casual fascism. You know, they're trying to control how you think, you know, and I'm not down with that. And I don't, and you know, I listen to metal, and I've been a purveyor of metal since I was 12 years old.
Mhm.
Constantly, people were shitting on this music, that it was obscene and filthy. The people who listened to it were idiots and fucking, you know, low life pieces of shit. And I just never like, what is wrong with this? This thing that I love is it's such a scapegoat and crucified. I did not get it, and I just defended it. And it's like, you know what? If it all comes down, like I said, it all comes down to, if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. But just because you don't like it doesn't mean it ain't no good, you know?
Right.
So, and that's where we are here. I mean, yeah, that's why
I grew up in the 90s when they tried to shut down Two Live Crew. You know?
yeah, that was a great album.
Or hell, even video games with Mortal Kombat, they try to kill that shit.
Yeah, they try to make art a scapegoat for our problems in our society. No, art saves us from the problems in our society.
It makes you think. It makes you give talking points.
Yeah, it gives you something to do. It's entertainment. It gives us something to dwell on and to think about. And to, you know, what would we do in this quarantine if we didn't have art? You know what I mean?
Go crazy. Well, it'd be purged, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's why I love the show Community. And when I heard about this, I'm like, what the hell? You guys are totally missing the point.
You know what we should do? Actually, you know, it's already being started. Change.org.
Oh, yeah. I heard about the petition.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. Everybody always say that the petitions don't work. Petitions are bullshit. They don't work. And that was the case. But there is a Snyder Cut coming right now. And it did come because of a change petition. Yeah.
And I own season 2 of Community on DVD. So yeah, I could watch it anytime. But you know, to erase it like it's one of the greatest. It's what kept the show going. I mean, this show was always on the verge of being canceled. Mm-hmm. But it was shows like that showed the brilliant writing. The Russo brothers, man.
Right. That's the thing. They were on that show with
yeah, they cut their teeth on Community, you know. And it's such a great show that most people didn't watch. And, you know, so for them to like cancel it for something so misunderstood is just like, I can't abide that shit.
It's just dumb as hell.
Yeah.
So,
you know.
All right, let's move on past. Now, this is part 2 of this argument. Then we'll just completely get off this shit.
Oh, we ain't done yet?
We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. We're going to get off that, but we're going to move on to something else because now we got to talk about this Anthony Mackie shit we were talking about. Oh, now, the reason I want to talk about this,
that's the dude from
That's the dude.
Spotting.
That's the dude from Blind Spotting. That's the dude from Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
And Hamilton and Blackish. Apparently, he plays on every single thing ever, and I guess he raps too. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard he's a rapper. I did not know that.
He does everything. So I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be a big thing soon as Hamilton drops Disney Plus. So, Disney Plus drops Hamilton. So the reason we want to talk about this Anthony Mackie thing because they got big news in social media, and I think people are misconstruing what he's saying, or twisting his words, and not saying what he's saying. So before I get into this, I just want you to know that I actually watched the entire interview. So this wasn't something I read, wasn't something I saw on Twitter. I actually read the interview and I interpreted myself. And what he's saying is that I agree with it. Now, if you thinking right now, oh, I'm cooning up just like Anthony Mackie, hey, I can't argue with you on that. It is what it is. But here's what he was trying to say, and what I interpret what he was trying to say. Now, what he's saying is that Marvel needs more diversity in their movies. You think more diversity? Well, what about Black Panther? What about him? What about Don Cheadle? That's this whole point he's trying to make. Yes, he's been in 6 or 7 of these Marvel movies, stuff like that. But he says when you show up to these Marvel movies, he's the only Black person on the set, not acting, on the set.
Yeah.
So you get an entire movie where it's just him by himself. So you got stunt coordinators, you got the directors, you got the producers, you got the people delivering the food truck. Everybody's white. So it's just him by himself. That's what he's saying the problem. But at the same time, when Black Panther comes out, it's the exact opposite. Black director, Black producer, the dude saving some of the donuts is Black. The stunt coordinator is Black. So if y'all have a hard time finding people of color to fill these spots, where the hell are all these people coming from now when you're making a Black movie like Black Panther? Or when Shang-Chi comes out, all of a sudden nothing but Asians pop up out of anywhere. So that's what he was saying, that even doing stuff like that is racist, because if you never have Black people in these movies until you finally get to the Black movie, that's wrong. It needs to be spread out some.
Yeah.
So obviously people are not getting in there because, and then you get that same argument about people saying that, well, obviously they weren't that good for the role to begin with. Okay, you can make that argument, but you telling me you can't find a better Black director than whoever the fuck directed Thor: The Dark World? I'm just saying, you could just pull a name out of a hat, just find anybody.
Yeah.
We don't even know who directed that shit, and we just go down the road of Marvel movies that do, because it's not like Marvel get Martin Scorsese or
we can go down all the Marvel movies and there ain't no Falcon movie, there ain't no War Machine movie, there ain't no Nick Fury movie.
Right, but what role they're playing? They're playing the Black sidekick in every movie.
Yep. Yeah.
They need that one role. We need to fill it in. We got Valkyrie playing the role. We got Idris Elba playing the role. Why the fuck is Idris Elba even in these movies?
Yeah. The Black Viking,
Right. The doorman.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. Like, you can't just check a box and think you're doing something. It doesn't work like that, because just like we were talking about the Cleveland show, where it just doesn't seem like it's authentic, the same way when you just stick just a Black superhero sidekick just in a role, just to do like one little thing, and just goes about his business and we don't see him again. Like Iron Man 3, War Machine had a whole fucking adventure of shit he was doing. But at the end, it really didn't matter because he was just the sidekick.
Yeah. The kid mattered more.
Right. Because he's going to be stood up for Iron Man,
Yeah.
It's funny how people say like, oh, Spider-Man is going to be the next Iron Man, or that kid's going to be the next Iron Man. Fucking James Rhodes know how to work the shit better than anybody else does. He can be Iron Man, but nah, that's okay. We don't need him. Yeah. So that's all he's saying, is that they need to be diversity overall, because it's obviously the best people are not getting to these roles, because if there would be more people working on these other movies. You got 20 Marvel movies and only one Black director. Something isn't right about that. Now, you can blame Tim Story on that, because he made those first Fantastic Four movies. He was a Black director. He fucked up.
I did not know that.
Yes, nobody knows that. Yes, the first 2 Fantastic Four movies were directed by a Black director. He was making the same guy that made Barbershop.
I did not know that.
I think Soul Food, not Soul Food.
Well, no, I was gonna say those movies aren't that bad, but then I remember what Galactus looked like in that one.
Okay, that is true, but people are saying those movies were bad, but then after that, it was another movie even worse than that movie came out. So in hindsight, you were like, oh, you know what? Maybe we were too hard on those movies, because it could have been worse.
Yeah, well, they were totally serviceable comic book movies for that time.
You know what? Somebody just told me that last Fantastic Four movie is on Disney Plus.
Which one? Fan Four Stick?
Yes.
Oh.
Not the other ones, just Fan Four Stick.
That's
why I don't know. It's so that's what they just spread out. So, and here's the funny thing about it: most people don't know. Like, everybody loves the Black Panther soundtrack, right? Most people don't know a white guy made that soundtrack.
I thought, what's his face? Kendrick Lamar did that or whatever.
No, he did. He curated the whatever soundtrack. Actually, the score of it was a white guy.
Oh, the score.
The score of it, like the actual score of it. Yeah, the score of it. Yeah. Ludwig von Gorison or something with like that music. He actually did music on Community.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's been everywhere. So yeah, let's think about that one. So that's, like I said, that's how I interpreted Anthony Mackie saying, I agree with him. If you don't agree with him, if you don't agree with me, hey, agree to disagree. That's okay. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. And this whole thing about getting the best person for the job,
mm-hmm.
you know, people of color don't get that chance to get to be the best person of the job. You know,
Right.
most of the time they're, you know, how are they going to gain experience? How
Right.
are they going to get skills? I mean, you know, yeah. And, you know, so yeah, I understand why, hey, we're making a Black Panther movie. Let's get a bunch of black people to work on it because, you know, let's represent ourselves. And you could tell that Black Panther was represented by black people.
And that's what I was saying, Eli, because just like we were saying, like the Cleveland show.
Yeah.
Now imagine if an all-white director, an all-white writer, and all-white everything made Black Panther. I guarantee you black people will be able to tell.
Yes.
We could smell it. Like, no, this is...
Yes, we can tell. Like, yeah, some of that Killmonger dialogue.
I'm sorry, a white guy would not write that dialogue.
A white guy would not be able to write that. Because
he would not be able to write it and make it believable.
That was an inherently black person of color point of view.
Right.
You know, same thing with some of the Luke Cage shows. You can tell that was people of color were working on that show because you were getting nuances that a person of color perspective.
Right.
You know? And that's
meanwhile, let's look at Blade. We know white guys wrote that. Not knocking Blade. I love Blade. Blade was an awesome movie. But by the time you got to the third movie, they tried to write Blade out of his own movie.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to like give the franchise to Ryan Reynolds, and that's why it was like fuck this whole franchise. I'm done. That's why when people keep saying like he was acting like an asshole on the set, that's why he was acting like an asshole on the set.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to kick him out of his own franchise.
And then, you know, me as a native, hardly, you know, we got what, 2 native actors that show up in every movie, Adam Beach and like Wes Studi.
Right.
They're the only ones that get work, you
right.
know, because all these other native actors don't have enough experience. They don't get native actors. They get a Mexican or an Asian to play the native in every movie. So you don't, you know, so when there is a native part that comes up every other year, you know, they're slim pickings, you know, and yeah. And like we said, when representation works when it's real. And I think that's what Mackie was talking about, you know.
Right. So the thing is, just sticking a person of color in a movie and thinking you're doing good, just calling it a day, that doesn't work. It does not work. We can tell when it's not authentic. We can tell when it's just checking a box or it's virtue signaling. We can tell.
Yeah.
That when it's authentic and it's, you know, realistic, and we can connect with that person because the person right behind it can identify with that person. And the person saying stuff, identify it, that's when we connect with that character. We're just throwing the character in there, we don't care.
When it's real. That there's a reason why Black Panther made $1 billion is because it was real.
Right. And yes, we saying get the best director, but I'm telling you, if you got Steven Spielberg to make Black Panther, it would not have made $1 billion.
Because the concept of Wakanda being an isolationist country that ignored the plight of the black community for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
nuance to that, right?
You know, what's his name? David Coep would not
right.
would not have written
awesome director, but like you said, you have to be right for the project.
Yeah. Even Martin Scorsese would not have came up with that idea.
Quentin Tarantino, no,
that he would not have. You know, that's a person of color perspective,
right?
And that was a responsibility. The makers of Black Panther had a responsibility to address that issue. Like, oh, wait a second. There's been black Batman existing for centuries, and he never came to the hood before.
Right. Like, because if they didn't address that, some comedian or assholes like us would have pointed that out.
Yeah. You know, so that just goes to show that they thought this through, you know, that and yeah, that's why we keep representation matters.
That's why we keep saying it. It's hashtag. Okay, can we lighten the mood up? Can we go on some other stuff now?
I thought this was the good news.
Oh no, we're going to the good news now. Now we're going to the video game section, the section I like to go to. Okay. Right. Now, the reason I'm going to go to the video game section is to talk about it real quick because what do we got here? I think I don't have it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Boom. We have what was called Avengers War Table. They had like a 30-minute thing where they talked about the Avengers video game that's coming out. And they
Thanos?
also no, it's not Thanos.
That Matt MODOK?
Yes.
Okay.
Because MODOK.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah.
MODOK is the big bad of the game.
Okay.
Because I always made a bet. I think I may even owe you money, Eli. That I was like, they would never do anything with MODOK. But technically not do anything with them in the movie, but they are sticking with a video game. I still can't picture him in a movie, but a video game is just crazy enough. It might work. You can put MODOK in the game. And they're also putting Super Adaptoid in there also. Super Adaptoid, if you don't know what it is, that's basically the Avengers version of Amazo. He knows all the powers, take power, blah, 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 whatever like that. AIM is the bad guys of the movie. Oh, also, of the game. Also, it seems like the plot of the game, the Avengers accidentally create the Inhumans, which is how Miss Marvel's in there.
Okay.
So, seems pretty interesting. It's going to be a single-player campaign. They said they are going to have like a 4-player like co-op like missions and stuff like that. So that seems pretty fun. All
right.
But
is it like a fighting game or
no? It's like a action game, like a story based game.
So like the Dark Knight game or the Arkham games kind of, or the Spider-Man
it's like Arkham game, but like in the single player mode, you're gonna like alternate in between, like, okay, this section is the Hulk, this section is Black Widow, this section blah blah blah.
Well, the Marvel Alliance games, is it, those are pretty fun. I remember
those are pretty fun also. So it's kind of like it, but not like that.
Yeah. Well, because you could choose your team and shit.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, you can go through the entire game. And like if I want to just run with the Fantastic Four, I can just run with the Fantastic Four. And that's it. Where this one in single player mode, you're just running with one person. Now, other Avengers might be around you, but it's just going to be you. But I think they will have a mode where you can do a 4-player co-op where you can do like certain missions between. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. You got to do that to lighten the mood. What other? It was some other video game shit I wanted to. Oh yeah, this video game shit. Okay, don't everybody cut off. If you ain't cut off this long, you're not gonna cut off this long. I'm gonna talk about Fortnite. I can see everybody. Good night, everybody. No, the reason I want to talk about Fortnite because this is actually pretty interesting, and I don't have. Here we go. That's the movie I have news in front of me right now. The reason I'm talking about Fortnite is because Fortnite did something very interesting. Now you know that movie, Tenet, that Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh yeah, the new Nolan movie.
The Nolan movie. Okay, it was supposed to come out in July, like July 31st. Warner Brothers like, we got to push it back because COVID is like at an all-time high, like out of control right now. So they're trying to push it back. But doing that, Fortnite is actually helping them. Oh shit, I don't want to try to do that. Fortnite is actually helping them promote the movie, and how they promote the movie is that they actually played Christopher Nolan movies on Friday night. Like depending on the area, the region you're in, a different movie played. You got Inception, Batman Begins, and The Prestige.
So
I think,
So you had to play Fortnite and go watch it in Fortnite?
In Fortnite, yes.
Okay.
That's the thing, because when I heard about it like 2 hours before it happened. I was like, well, that sounds pretty interesting. So I looked it up and see what movie was playing in my area, and it was Inception. I was like, well, fuck, I want to watch Inception again. Even though I have it, I just want to watch it again. And I thought about this brilliant idea that I was going to tell Gomer about, and you also, that I was going to, like, if they play Inception, I was going to play it on Fortnite, stream it on the Facebook channel, and do a commentary on Fortnite. But the thing was, I hadn't downloaded Fortnite.
Oh. So
I had to download it. By the time I finished downloading it, 1, the movie ended. 2, I fell asleep. So now I got Fortnite on my computer for no fucking reason. And then I want to delete it because they might do this shit again. I hate you, Fortnite. What else we got? Okay, can we move on to the actual meat of the podcast now? Oh, this is the bullshit.
I don't understand.
The hell was that?
Uh-oh. You said some shit to her.
Sorry, sorry, Alexa. Hey, if I die on the podcast, just let you know Alexa did it. Okay, so this is the comic book bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're just gonna jump into it, and we're actually gonna talk about. You want me to start it off? I can start it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just let me just jump into it. Sacrificial lamb. Okay, so we're gonna talk about first is this one. Well, let's start with Batman 93. Let's go with that one.
Yes, let's get this out of the way.
Let's get this out of the way. Okay, let's get the background. Boom, because I need a chance to do the background all day, man. I'm messing up. I didn't get to do one of them through. Anyway, so we're talking about Batman 93, and basically what the book is still a lead up to Joker War, is what you want to call it. So,
that's all this was.
That's all it was, a lead up to Joker War. So basically what the book started off, and I'm going to just run through it as fast as possible because I know Eli's excited about it. So basically the book.
What's bad is this started out as a really cool story arc.
But this is like part 8. And part 8 of any story tracks.
This was started out really cool, and then it just turned into a tie-in.
Pretty much, because like I said, just lead up to it. But basically what's going on in the story right now. Okay, so Batman is in Wayne Tower with the designer because the designer is in the Wayne Tower, knows who he is, and the designer and Batman says, I know your whole plan. He's like, oh, you know my whole plan? What's my plan, Batman? You tell me what is my plan. He's like, okay, first your plan is because you're going to get the 4 biggest, baddest villains in Gotham to try to take me down. First, you're going to get Penguin. You're going to give him a plan to get the 5 most dangerous assassins. Of course, at the time, since it was 5 years ago, we would have had like KGBs and Merlin from Green Arrow, stuff like that. You would have had them take out the top 5 figures in Gotham, like the mayor, deputy mayor, go down the road, stuff like that, and hit all at the same time. So it'd be so fast, I wouldn't even know what happened until it's over with. So that's then. Then Penguin was going to put his people in charge and technically be like the unofficial mayor of Gotham, even though he's basically a figurehead running for him. While doing that, Riddler was going to take out Commissioner Gordon and basically have the police officers, bribe the police officers, police stations where he was going to take over. And then Penguin was going to put Riddler's guy as commissioner. So basically, Riddler would control the police department and Penguin would control the mayor's office. While that is going on, Catwoman would go after the most powerful guy in Gotham, which is Bruce Wayne, find out where his money is, take his money, and then she become the richest person in Gotham. So she would control all the money in Gotham. And then Joker's job, all he had to do was just kill Batman and Robin. That was the plan. They all had to work together in order to make their plan work to basically take over Gotham, take out Batman. But Batman already knew that, see, where your plan fucked up is that you try to get Joker to kill Batman and Robin. You just thought Joker was just a random two-bit thug, but he was more, you underestimated him. And the thing is, he don't want to kill Batman and Robin. So when he found out what your plan was, and when you realized he wanted to go with the plan, this one you try to kill him, but he took you out. And that's when Designer pulls out a sword, and Batman pulls out a sword out of his utility belt. I watched it again. I was like, he really did that shit. And so,
yeah.
It's like some. I think that's like some old break.
The Bat Blade.
The Bat Blade. I gotta show this shit because this is like, what the fuck? This is some what the fuckery right here. This is Batman pulling a hilt out of, or whatever you want to call it, out of his utility belt.
You ever see that movie, Ultraviolet?
No, that's that Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I love that movie, but that's basically what she pulls a nano sword.
Like, why are they fighting with swords? But whatever. Okay, fuck it. Anyway, while all that shit is going on, now we go to the B story where Harley Quinn is fighting against Punchline. And Punchline is basically like, why
the moment we were all waiting for, I guess.
Yeah, this is the moment that's going to put your kids through college. You know, the big fight scene, stuff like that.
Buy 10 copies of this book.
Right. So the thing is, Punchline is basically telling Harley, the reason I hate you is because you try to tame the Joker, you try to tone him down, you try to water him down. I want the Joker as he is. I want him as crazy as possible, and that's what I'm here for. And she's like, oh yeah, I get you now. You're just a groupie. That's all. You're just a Joker groupie. And she's like, you don't get it. You never got it. So, Punchline is like really edgy. That's her personality, But the thing is, she's better than Harley because she actually slits Harley's throat. Harley's throat, and then kicks her into the sewer.
She uses her her long ass ponytail and whips her hair around and flings Harley and shit.
Yeah, and Harley tried to shoot her with a gun, even though she's been trained by Amanda Waller in the Suicide Squad to use automatic weapons. Can't even hit her. She's dodging the shit like Neo from the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just throws in the water. So let's see. I'm gonna just show the picture one more time, and then we'll go from there. So while all that is going on, Catwoman. Yeah, see, Harley just got fucked up. I hate that somebody spoiled that shit for me before I got a chance to read the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody spoiled this shit for me. But anyway, while all this is going on, Catwoman realizes, and the funny thing about it, they actually explain Bruce Wayne's finances. So Catwoman is digging into Bruce Wayne's finances, and she realizes that Bruce Wayne is broke. Like on paper, he's broke. Nobody knows that, but he doesn't have any money in his name. Meanwhile, she found some offshore account that whoever this money belongs to is one of the richest people on the planet. But nobody can claim this money because the money isn't anybody's name. But she knows that money is tied to Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne has those offshore accounts because he doesn't want anybody to know how he's spending his money.
Yeah.
Because if they follow the money, they'll know that he's Batman.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Bruce, what's up with this jet that you bought and that turns into a submarine?
What are you building for next, Lucius? A rocket ship?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So technically, Bruce Wayne is embezzling from his company. Yes.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
laundering. He's laundering.
Money laundering, but it's okay. Tony Montana does it. It's a problem. You know.
That's right. Yeah.
So while that all was going on, so she's like, so if I get this money, and since nobody technically owns this money, I can legally have this money and claim it for myself. Nobody get it. Because basically what she's trying to do is get the money before Joker gets it. Because if she gets the money, she can just give it to Bruce Wayne and say it's okay. But if she don't, Joker would take the money. While that is going on, Bruce Wayne has uncovered the identity of the designer. And the designer... Well, it isn't what we thought it was. It isn't what they want you to think.
It wasn't?
Not really?
No.
Okay, so the designer is a zombie.
Or something.
He's a zombie. Basically, because the thing is, the Joker has mutated his Joker gas. He can turn people into zombies. Like those zombie cops we were fighting like fucking 10 issues ago. He basically designed like that. He explained that this designer is not the original designer that we know of. Or the guy that fought that old Gotham hero back then. He's actually a copycat impersonating that designer, but he sucks at the job, and that's how Joker killed him. So Joker just parade him around like a fucking zombie just to show him that you suck, and I'm gonna just take your design. So he wasn't the Joker, but he is the Joker. He's being controlled by the Joker, basically.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, because I know I said this on the podcast before, if he turns out to be the Joker, I'm dropping this shit. But he was the Joker, but he wasn't the Joker.
Is this good enough for you?
I don't know how I feel, you know. But anyway, while all this is going on, okay, Joker he realized the Joker is talking through the designer because he's just some zombie and shit like that. And while he's doing that, he's telling, oh, Slade, time for you to wake up and fulfill your contract. You're like, cool. So he takes the blade that Batman put down and stabs Batman in the leg, like through the leg. And I thought, oh, that's fucked up, you know. And he basically tells Batman that it's not going to kill you, but if you pull the blade out, you will die because you're going to bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets away. And then while all that is going on, we cut back to Catwoman. Like I said, Harley Quinn, slit throat, tossed in the sewer. Batman has leg impaled. He should have a limp for the rest of his life, but it's Batman. So whatever. And Catwoman, who actually is able to get the offshore accounts away from the Joker, doesn't really matter because Punchline sneaks behind and shoots in the back. So Joker is on the other line. She calls Joker. He's on the line. He says, I want you to say it. I want you to say it. Joker, you are now worth $100 billion. And the book ends with the next episode being Joker's Billions, which is a play off the old book, Joker's Millions. And this is one more issue until Joker War. So, Eli, I know you hated this book, but guess what?
I didn't hate it. I just thought that the reveal was really dumb.
But I'm gonna let it slide. Okay, because you said that. Because I was gonna get this book a 5.
Really?
A reason I was gonna give it a 5 because every issue I felt like it did mean something. Every panel was leading up to something. It didn't feel like any fluff was in the book. I feel like they were jamming in as much stuff as they could because they know Joker War is coming. Yeah. And I felt like it was meaningful. It did go into detail about some stuff. It did go into detail about how all the underworld is coming together, which is interesting, but Joker is being Joker, you know. But because you said the ending isn't how it's supposed to be, like the reveal was too predictable, I'm gonna say a 4.5 out of 5. So you talked me into giving a 4.5 out of 5.
Dropping half a point.
Half a point. So you did that. So
Yeah, I think I'm just like I said, like last week, I'm just kind of jokered out. Ever since the movie, I mean, I'm just kind of
truth
jokered.
is, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm just kind of jokered out, and so I'm really not looking forward to the whole Joker war now. I mean, you know, something intrigues me. Some things about this book intrigues me.
Who are
You
these
know,
people?
was that 3.5 Jokers coming soon?
3.5 Jokers? You mean the 3 Jokers?
The 3 joke, yeah.
Yeah, not the 3.5, not 3.5 men, just 3.5 Jokers. But yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I think it'd be cool if the Joker just burned all the money.
That's some shit. That's some shit Joker would do.
That's some shit Joker would do. Just
it's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
I'm simple.
Yeah.
I like bombs
and gasoline.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I like Batman. I love Batman, so I'm still here, and I'm gonna read it, but I'm not excited as I used to be. Like when they announced the Joker War a few months ago, I was kind of excited, but now I'm just kind of tired of it. Now I'm kind of over it. You know,
I'm
but
honest. I feel like it's a good build to. I want to see. Honestly, I feel like it might be something interesting. That's all.
you know, but the art is awesome.
Yes, I don't know who they got. I've never heard this guy before, but yes, he's drawn a awesome Batman. And
Yeah.
then the Harley Quinn and the Punchline fight was like kinetic. It did have energy behind it. You know, you could follow it pretty clearly.
And I love the buildup. I love how this story started. I love there was the mystery to it. But once we got to a couple issues ago, and like, okay, who's the designer? And then when we figured it out,
and I knew he was going to be a bullshit character because look at his design. So obviously, didn't give a shit about him.
I thought, I mean, when you said it's going to be the Joker, I'm like, no, it can't be that stupid, is it? Can it be like, you know, Bruce Wayne's like fucking long lost uncle or something?
They've
like
done that.
You know what I mean?
Hush 2.0. Yeah. Jason Todd,
Yeah, Jason Todd's kid, all of a sudden. Or something.
Oh, man. So exactly what we thought it was.
What if it was Damien or something?
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I thought 3 out of 5. Fuck it.
No, we're up and down, but it's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All
right. So what you got next?
What did I read next? Should I do Star? Oh, Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk. Did I get Immortal Hulk? Oh crap! I didn't get Immortal Hulk.
You didn't get Immortal Hulk?
You do it. I'll get you set up. You just go ahead and I got you. Boom! Look at you.
Yes, Immortal Hulk number 34. Finally. We are back. Comics are back. Comics that I give a shit about are back.
What you say is 34?
Yeah, 34. So this issue is all about the leader. We are fine. It's basically the lives of the leader. The leader's been killed a few times and brought back by willing his mind alone. He comes back and he basically goes down to hell, confronts, you know, the one below all, and basically takes over hell. And he's coming after the Hulk now. This book is just basically, it's kind of, you know what, how Donny Cates took Venom, and kind of retconned everything, but not really retconned, like still paid tribute to all of the things, all the canon, all the old canon of Venom, but still made it work for this story. That's what Al Ewing does in this book. He takes all those, the history of the leader, everything he's done throughout the history that he's had, his whole canon, and makes it work. He pays tribute to all that. Even the stuff that the Peter David shit that I never read. What's this guy's name? These gamma sorcerers and shit. What was that guy's name? Soul Man. You ever heard of Soul Man?
Never heard of Soul Man. No.
Yeah. So basically, you know, Gamma, the one below all, the opposite of the one above all. He's basically the source of rage from gamma radiation and what made the Hulk. You know, He sits in hell, and every time somebody with gamma, like a gamma mutant, whether it be Sasquatch or whoever, or the leader, whoever's been affected with gamma radiation, has a connection to the one below all. Now, but so basically, what this book is doing is the leader's whole life has been building. He's been researching and studying the Hulk to basically defeat him, and he does it by taking over hell. So I got to reread. Yeah, I should have reread this. I should have took notes, but I because I read this the other day, so I'm kind of like, stumbling here, trying to remember shit. But like I said, it goes through his whole life. It goes through like every time he fought like Hulk, and some of his like the Red Hulk and She-Hulk, and the times that he's died, and he refers to when he fought when he was dead in hell, when Hulk and Rick Jones were in hell, like back a couple years ago during this run. And how he's been researching and thinking up, and he's basically claiming himself to be the greatest rival to the Hulk because he's the mind. He
always wanted to be.
Yeah, he's the mind. He is as smart as the Hulk is strong. So if Hulk represents the physical strength, the leader is the mental, is the mind, and he's like basically
Superman, Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he's basically taking over hell. So that's where we're at. And at the end of this issue, he is meeting Banner's dad, who's stuck in hell. So, and we know Banner's dad is a dick, and Banner's traumatized. His rage comes from the trauma caused by his dad.
Right, that he was scared to use against his dad because his fear turned into anger.
So here, I don't know if you can see it, but basically this is the leader in hell, and he finds Bruce Banner's dad.
See if I can blow you up. Yep.
Yeah, and this is the last panel. Let's see, where he's like, "Take my hand." He's like, you need proper leadership. Take my hand. The apotheosis of Samuel Stearns. That's what this issue's called. So once again, Immortal Hulk just continues to be a great book. Sort of building on the old myth of Hulk while keeping it fresh.
Right, and it's doing Hulk because Hulk always does something different than regular superhero comics do.
So. Yeah, this is still like got those weird monster horror elements, but now we're because the leaders died, but by will alone, he's been able to bring himself back. I
mean, if the Hulk is immortal from gamma energy, it would only make sense that the leader would be also.
Yeah, and every other Hulk or every other person that has been infected with gamma. It has a connection to the one below all, which is why Banner, in the story, Banner is like schizophrenic. He's got all the personalities inside him. So at any given time, he can turn into Joe Fixit. He can turn into, World Breaker Hulk or regular Hulk or whatever,
right. Because he has a personality disorder.
So. Yeah. So, yeah. Fuck it. 5 out of 5. I don't care.
Fuck, everything's a 5 out of 5 on you. You get a 5. You get a 5.
Yeah.
Let's go to the callers. What do we got? Let's see.
Oversaturation. Yeah, Joker oversaturation. Yes, I agree with that. Something new like Punchline is kind of pretty. Yes. Yeah. Very. Yeah.
Look, we're just waiting for the cosplay. That's what we're waiting for. Let's be honest.
I like when writers literally take all canon continuity and history with a fresh, revamped, soft reboot, like Johns did with Flash Lantern reboot. Yes,
that's you take what's been done before, but you,
yeah, that's what Al Ewing's doing. He's paying homage to all the past Hulk canon, but still building upon it and making it his own and coming up with a fresh new story. So yeah, I love this book. This is, like I said, the comics that I care about are finally coming back.
All right. Now here's one that we don't care about, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right. So, of course, Marvel is back. So since Marvel is back, that means another event is coming. And the event that we're doing right now is Empyre. And it's like 50 fucking issues is going to be on before this thing is on.
What number? I thought this wasn't coming out. This is 0.
This is 0, but it's like
Okay.
lead up to issue 1.
Oh,
so,
I thought this wasn't coming out for a couple months.
Well, yeah, well, it's out now. It's got a few issues on it now. So
Okay.
here's the thing, Eli. Like I said, I didn't really know anything about what Empyre was supposed to be, but after reading it, I'll let you know whether or not I'm interested in where it's going, anything like that. Okay, so basically, this book is really dealing with some old school Avengers shit, like back in the 70s. So basically, for those that don't know how the Kree and the Skrull got into it, like why they hate each other so much, like 1,000 years ago, the Skrull came to the planet of the Kree, which they shared the planet with a bunch of plant creatures called the Kotati. And the Skrull made a deal. He took some of the Kree and some of the Kotati to the moon, Earth's moon. And like, we want you to just build a civilization or build like a garden or build something. And whoever builds the best thing, we will share technology with you. So the Skrulls were actually pretty chill, pretty nice with them. They wasn't fooling with anything like that. So the thing was, the Kotati actually beat the Kree. They actually made a better civilization than the Kree. So when the Skrulls showed back up and saw the Kotati had a better civilization than the Kree, they granted the Kotati the civilization, the keys to their technology. The Kree didn't like that, killed everybody. Killed the Kotati that was on the planet, wiped out their race. All the Skrulls that came on their ship, they killed them. They took the ship, took it back to the Skrull planet, and killed a bunch of them also. Boom, the Kree-Skrull War lasted for 1,000 years. That's how the thing got started. Some whammy-bammy time retcon bullshit happened. Some of the Kotati start coming back, so now they're back in play again. And that's basically what this book is about. It's basically, if you really want to boil it down to, it's basically the Kree-Skrull War Part 2. That's basically what it is, but with a twist. Anyway, the Avengers are at Avengers, whatever the fuck they are. I haven't been keeping up with them. They get a telepathic message from the blue moon, the blue area of the moon. They fly up there to see what's going on, but it turns out the blue area of the moon have been changed to the green area of the moon. So it's nothing but like lavish, lush, green grass and shit like that. So where the Inhumans used to live, since nobody gives a shit about the Inhumans anymore, now the Kotati live there again because they're back again. While the Avengers are there, they get attacked by a Kree sentry. But the thing is different. This Kree sentry is different. This Kree sentry has like a mutant head on top of them. And they try to fight him. They can't do anything with them. Matter of fact, this Kree sentry even beats the shit out of Thor because Thor is a fucking jobber in this book for some reason. I don't know why. But while they're doing that, one of the Kotati jumps out and slashes the Kree's like head off and shit like that. And they look up and the Kotati they see is actually, and I got it. Fuck. I got it. I got to paint the picture of this one. Anyway, the Kotati that they find name is Swordsman. Now, the thing is, the Swordsman is actually one of the first Avengers. Remember when the Avengers like got Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye and all stuff like that? He was also a guy like that. I'm going to show you a picture of him right now. So that's the Swordsman. He's actually not the original Swordsman. He's a plant Kotati clone of Swordsman. But he got all his skills, all his memory, all shit like that. But he's a plant creature. So, and they also show him. So he, in the comics, he actually trained Hawkeye. So there's Hawkeye right there. He trained him in all his stuff, how to shoot him barrels, like that, because he was part of the circus also. He looked goofy as fuck. Actually, if you actually read the Swordsman back in the Avengers days, he's actually literally the worst Avenger they ever had. Because all he has is a sword.
And he trained Hawkeye.
So Hawkeye actually is, fucking good compared to him. He was useless. He can do anything on me. He don't even have like a powerful sword or a magic sword like that. It's just a sword. So he ended up getting killed. He was married to Mantis. And yes, when I mean Mantis, I mean the Mantis that you're thinking about. That Mantis. Okay. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy Mantis. She got a whole weird backstory. The MCU will never touch that shit. I guarantee you. For good reason. Anyway, so the Swordsman, plant hybrid, whatever, cyborg something, he's back with the Avengers. He remembers the Avengers. They're like, hey, Swordsman, you're here. Long time no see. Some of the new Avengers like, who the fuck is this guy? They all meet up, shit like that. He basically tells them, and not only that, okay, so Swordsman and Mantis, like I showed you before, boom, they had a kid. Because Mantis has such a weird ass backstory when they first made her in the comics. She's the Celestial Madonna. I don't have time to get into it because I can't remember what the shit is.
Madonna, as in the The Virgin Mary or Madonna the singer?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna say the Virgin Mary. Basically, she was supposed to give birth to the Messiah, basically, and she gave birth to the Messiah. So, swordsman, the Kotati swordsman, and Mantis had a kid, and the kid is a plant creature, god, monster, cyborg, whatever, called Sequoia, but his friends call him Koi. And apparently him and Thor go way back. Obviously, I must have missed this issue because basically him and Thor used to go on adventures and shit. But he's like the Messiah. He says, I come to cleanse the earth of evil and shit, But he's like a teenager, some shit, And anyway, he's the one that made the telepathic message telling the Avengers, you need to come help us out. Because they have figured out, actually, Tony realized that, okay, we got a Kree sentry that just attacked us. But that looked like some kind of scroll monster type thing on his head. So are the Skrull and Kree teaming up to fight us? Like that's impossible. They can't be. They've been fighting for 1,000 years. There's no way they can join forces. And Sequoia basically tells them that's exactly what happened. The Kree and the Skrull have joined forces, and the reason they have joined forces is because they have a common enemy, us, the Kotati. They're trying to wipe us out because they hate us. So they have joined forces to kill us, and they have a figurehead in top of head, and the figurehead they have is Hulkling, one of the young Avengers. He's running this Kree and the Skrull because he had blood of both of them. But in actuality, the head of the Kree and the head of the Skrull are behind him pulling his strings. So he's just a puppet figure, And while they're doing that, Sequoia basically telling him the Kree and the Skrull on their way right now to the moon to wipe out all the Kotati because they're trying to do this as a signal to saying that they have united. So Avengers, we need you to help us beat these guys. And the Avengers like, yes, we will do this. We will make sure that whatever force they throw at you, we will make sure because the Avengers assemble, blah, 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 stuff like that. And while they're doing that, while they're saying that no force can stop them from doing that, while we see the Kree Skrull headed towards them, also the ship leading them is the Fantastic Four. So how they got mixed up in this shit, you will find out in Fantastic Four lead in to Empyre. And I'll show you right here because they're basically saying no matter what force they throw at us, we will stop them. And you see the Fantastic Four headed to the moon right now to wipe out the Kotati.
Yeah.
So
20 pages of the Fantastic Four getting a phone call.
Right. So yeah, that's the book. So it didn't honestly. I like it. It tricked, I kind of like the story because it actually went back to the roots of it. Because it seems like all the Avengers want to do is just copy the movies. Whatever the movie's doing, just building the shit. Just don't build on the movies. This builds on like some old 70s shit that nobody was even born when this shit came out. But they're going back to that. And honestly, the story that they're telling, like that whole Celestial Madonna, Kree Skrull, whole thing like that, I don't think they even finished that story. Like the writer that was doing that story was doing it and never had a conclusion to it. Another writer came in and did something completely different. Mantis got shipped off, and that was it. So it almost feels like they're finishing that story from like 40 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever the fuck.
This dude said Mantis was a prostitute in the comics backstory.
Yes, she was I really don't want to go there. Yes, Mantis was a Vietnamese prostitute in the story. That's her backstory.
You better stop now before this gets canceled.
Right. All that shit would be retcon. That shit is not going to be in the canon. That's how I say she met Swordsman, because I think Swordsman was like a Vietnam vet or some shit. Or no, he was just hanging out.
French? Was he French?
Yes, he is French. Yeah. So that's how they got together. She was just like, I'll just hook up with you, get me out of America, something like that, whatever. So yeah. Oh, Mantis is so weird. The reason because she's a listen Madonna, King the Conqueror found out she was going to give birth to the Messiah of the universe. So his whole plot that he was trying to do back then was trying to put a baby in her.
King
the Conqueror, yes. So
Kang was trying to bang Mantis.
Yes. Kidnapped her numerous times. You're gonna have my baby so I can give birth to God. And yes.
That sounds like Kang, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, none of that shit will be in the MCU. So overall, I'm gonna give the book I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. I didn't write it off. It's better than what I thought it was gonna be, but it's just not like, oh shit.
Are you gonna read this?
Okay, now I'm glad you said that, because I looked at it. The main issues, and I'm gonna show you this shit because when I show you this shit, you're gonna flip the fuck out. You didn't shit a brick.
I seen the like
look at this shit. Look at this shit. These are all the fucking tie-ins. It look like the fucking memorial wall in Virginia. Washington Monument. It's just nothing but just tie-ins, stuff like that. But the actual tie-ins of the actual issue are 6 issues. So if I do stick with, I'm just sticking with that. All that other shit, fuck that.
If you do it, I'll read it too.
I'm reading the main issues.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with the tie-ins. But yeah, if you read the main arc, I'll read it too.
I am not reading the Captain Marvel tie-in or fuck that shit. No.
Squirrel Girl.
No, I don't care how Squirrel Girl fits into the Kree Skrull War. I don't care. So I'm reading the main shit just to see. Because here's the thing. We shit on Marvel with these events, stuff like that. But I'm going to give them their credit. War of the Realms was fun. It was a fun story. It wasn't just like knock your socks off classic or shit like that, like Infinity Gauntlet. It was just a fun story. So if they give me another fun story that wraps up a 70-year-old, a 40-year-old arc that was never completed, I say it's a win. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5. That's what I'm gonna give it. So, you got another one? Yeah, you do got another one.
Oh yeah, I'll do Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 3.
You go ahead and start it. I'm gonna get you set up.
Okay, so Star Wars Bounty Hunters. We got Boba Fett. We got Bosk. We got Valance. And some chick named Tonga, who I'm not familiar with. But basically, this is just street crime shit in Star Wars universe. Mm-hmm. So, long time ago, a crew of bounty hunters were on a job. One of their homies named Lash ended up killing the client, which sparked a intergalactic crime war between these two crime families. And then she went into hiding, and she's had a price on her head for like 10 years. Now she's reemerged, and every bounty hunter in the galaxy are after her. So all the bounty hunters, including Boba Fett, who right now currently is on his way to Jabba's palace to give him Han Solo. So this takes place between Empire
and Jedi. Okay.
Yeah. So and Boba Fett's like, yeah, I'll work for free. So that's how much he's pissed off at this chick for fucking up this job and starting this whole thing. So every bounty hunter is after her. Valance, he's an old Star Wars comic book character who's popped back up. He's basically a Terminator. He's a cyborg. He looks like a Terminator. He tracked Lash to this planet and knows her whereabouts. Found out her whereabouts, but then Bosk showed up and intercepted him. So this whole issue is basically a big action scene between Bosk and Valance, and it's just all action. While they're fighting, this other bounty hunter, I can't remember his name. He looks like a Wookiee with the Darth Vader mask. Anyways, he comes in and steals Valance's droid. Valance's droid has the coordinates to where Lash is, to where this bounty is, and he takes off. And that's essentially what happens. We get a little backstory about Valance and the old crew. We get flashbacks of what happened when that job happened like 10 years ago. Building some character development. But other than that, it's still just fun crime gangster shit in the Star Wars universe. I'm digging this book. Great artwork. It's all the bounty hunters battling each other. 4 out of 5.
Cool. Okay. Let me see what this last comment was. I think it has to do with Star Wars. We got.
Oh, the Kree Skull Wars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, street level Star Wars sounds badass. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all this book is. It's
right.
It's fun. Boba Fett, Bosk. They're all. It's a West. It's like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. They're all after that same score.
And here's the thing: Star Wars work the best when they start using like Western tropes and things like that. So yeah. Okay, next book, last book I'm gonna do is Thor number 5. Number 5. This is the arc of the Black Winter. I think that's where we go right there. Okay, so basically what the book is, you can show you the cover of it like that. Boom, there we go. Okay, so based on the book is that the last time we left off, that Galactus and Thor were about to beat the shit out of each other. But they find out that the Black Winter, which they've been trying to stop the entire time, is here. It's there right now. Now, before we get to that, we talk about, what's the guy's name? The horse guy. Not Bushwick Bill. What's his name?
Oh,
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, him. I knew it was one of them.
I was working at Bushwick Bill on a horse. I'm like,
so Beta Ray Bill is talking. He's praying to Yggdrasil, which actually dying right now, and he's praying to Sif, and Sif is just asking like, "Who are you praying?" And he's like, "What are you praying for?" He's like, "I'm praying for forgiveness." Like, forgiveness for who? He was like, "I don't know yet." And he's basically saying like, Volstagg is, having a party. You want to come to the party? He's like, nope, not till Thor comes back. Here's the thing. Beta Ray Bill has a thing for Sif. This has actually been a thing for a while. Like probably maybe it's like the 90s or so. But I don't know if she's into horses. Maybe she is. Maybe your thing. Well, that's going on. Thor and Galactus are being swallowed up by the Black Winter. They're getting fucked up. It's actually pretty cool panel to show you that shit like that. So they're getting fucked up by the Black Winter. Galactus just gets swallowed up. And Galactus like, you can't take me. And the Black Winter is actually sentient talking. Like, Galactus, shut the fuck up. I will deal with you in a second. You, Thor, you have my attention right now. I want to see what you can do. So the Black Winter, even though Thor fights as hard as he can't fight hard enough. So he gets swallowed up also. The Black Winter's just getting him. So when the Black Winter swallows him up, it takes him to like this place and stuff like that. And the place he takes it to, like all of his bad guys are there right now. Gore the God Butcher. Who we got? Magog. I'm gonna show you this shit also. I'm trying to make Loki. Doctor Doom is there. I think that's Fing Fang Foom or the Magog. Certain. All these lizards look like I can't tell. What's the shitty dude from Thor: The Dark World?
Oh, Malekith or something.
Him. He's there. Apocalypse is there. When did Apocalypse become a Thor villain?
Apocalypse. Is that Apocalypse?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I see him. I didn't
Why he's there? I don't know, but he's there. Anyway, they all bum rush Thor at the same time and they fuck Thor up. But somehow Thor is like realize that they're just illusions. They're all illusions. They're not really there. So, and that's we tell the Black Winter, show yourself, reveal. Actually, here's what he does, and this is some badass shit. Thor does. He wipes out all the bad guys with a blast called the God Blast. So obviously it's like the biggest thunderstorm lightning blast that has ever been recorded in the history of mankind.
Out of his ass?
Yeah, just out of anywhere. That's what I don't get. Thor can fuck up a universe, but in the Avengers book, he get fucked up by a robot that gets killed by a plant cyborg. I get it. Thor Sandsbag. I get it. So I'm not gonna complain. Anyway. He saves Galactus. Galactus is free now, and Galactus is basically telling them, yes, that's the Black Winter. That's the guy that's coming for us right now, and that's what he looks like. And this is what the Black Winter actually looked like because he's not hiding anymore. He's actually unveiled himself from cloud, and he looks like this. He looks like a shadow version of Thor. I don't know if that's what the Destroyer is supposed to look like or what. Anyway, he looks like Thor, like an evil version of Thor.
Looks like fucking Colossus with long.
Yeah, just Metal Colossus.
Metal Colossus.
Right. Death Metal Colossus. Okay. So, and Thor is basically telling like, I don't care why you're here. I don't know what you're here. You're not going to destroy my universe. And then the Black Winter is basically telling them, destroy your universe. I'm not going to destroy your universe. Is that what he told? Is that what Galactus told you? I'm not here for that. I'm actually here for Galactus. That's what I'm here for. You want to, and the reason I'm here for Galactus is because I sent Galactus when I destroyed the last universe. Galactus was the one I sent out of the universe. Why? Because he is my herald. Bum, dun, dun, the end. So apparently Galactus is herald to this guy, this evil shadow Thor. So, yeah.
Galactus is evil Thor's herald.
Yes. From the old universe that evil Thor destroyed.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, we don't know if that's evil Thor. He's just looking like Thor. The dude.
Does this have something to do with Null?
That's the thing. Because Donny Cates is writing this. Donny Cates is writing
this. Is it Donny Cates writing
Donny Cates is writing this.
Okay.
So Null hasn't shown up yet. There's rumors down the pipeline that once this Empyre shit is done, Null is going to be the big crossover that Disney is going to push like in 2021. So he might be planting the seeds for that.
Because all the black, because that's what Null does. It's basically the symbiote dark version of it's Venom. It's Venom Thor.
Yeah,
if that's what this is going.
Like a completely different Thor. So it's not like Venom on Thor. It's like a different.
No. Yeah, I don't mean like Thor's got it's a symbiote. You know, Thor's got a symbiote, but I mean this version of or what this guy is just infected with the symbiote. Or something, you know.
So,
but you know what? That yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say overall, the ending didn't just grab me like you. I knew it was gonna be a twist. I knew it was gonna be something at the end, but it didn't hit me like as hard as I expected it to. Like, okay, evil Thor, that's Galactus' herald. Okay, I guess, but they made it seem like it was supposed to be like this big shocking reveal. It's gonna change everything. So,
I mean, that idea sounds cool. The fact that Galactus is a herald, so basically Galactus is going around eating planets for somebody,
right?
And that sounds pretty cool, I must say.
But he's eating other people for him, so it's like he's basically middle management. So
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That sounds pretty cool, I must say. I mean, that sounds, you know, I only read like the first number 1 or whatever, and you know, Donny Cates was writing it, and then I never kept with it. So
I'm wondering just where is it going? That's what I'm wondering. I just want to know where it's going. That's all. So right now I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was cool. It was okay.
All right.
Awesome artwork. We've drawn this shit.
It looked cool. Artwork. Yeah, those panels you showed looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
what else you got?
I'm pretty much done. So
yeah. Okay. You didn't want to do Terminator Genesis or whatever?
Oh no, I mean it's all right. Terminator versus Transformers. That's all.
Okay.
Number 2.
Thing. Hold up.
It's a thing. You know.
Let's see what Donny Cates says.
Donny Cates has great ideas, plans. Too bad that the Twitter trolls keep pissing him off, saying he's just recycling obscure '90s ideas. Yeah, I think
actually he kind of recycles his own ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was enjoying his Venom run.
Yeah, well, I think people are getting pissed off at him because Cosmic Ghost Rider was a thing in the '90s. Like Whisper Satio from Image already did that shit. Of course, you know, Donny Cates twisted it up and did some different shit with it, but he was already a thing.
Yeah,
you know.
But yeah, it's like what they said on Comic Cast. You know, what Boogie and Gomer and them guys said on Comic Cast. Like, you know, that he started out hot. He was the hot Donny Cates, y'all. Remember a couple years ago? You know, everything was hot. He did, and then you know, everyone starts hating on him. That just happens to everybody.
Die hero, live long to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah,
Two-Face was right.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Shoot. So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Yeah. Yeah. Look like we got some people. Well, we had some people like coming back and forth in, but hey, appreciate you coming in. If you listen this long, if you like, share, subscribe. We got another podcast. Well, I guess we got other podcasts. We got Geek Sab. We got our sister podcast.
Yeah.
So definitely check them out. Get Valiant is back on the road with Hoodoo TV. Eli has another podcast, also Riddle of Steel.
All about Conan the Barbarian.
Yep. And doing movies, books, whatever you want to talk. Video game. Y'all gonna do the game? Video game?
We should, because I love that game. I wonder if they played it.
The 360 one.
Yeah. Well, I had it on. I had PS3, but yeah, I love that game. I wonder if we. I'll bring it up to them.
Yeah,
they played it because I love that game.
Yeah, review that game. Oh shit, Wrestling Council. Okay, Boomer. I need to get a list. I can't remember who's here and who's not. People kind of.
There's another one. Was it not Raymond or Willie? Did a creative moment, creative minute or something. He had like who do you have? I forget. He had a comic book writer. Rylan Grant. Yeah. That's another podcast. Creator Corner or Creator Moment.
I didn't know if that was like actual podcast or we just doing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to keep up with everybody. So next week we'll come up with some other stuff because I thought this was supposed to be like the slow week with DC and Marvel, not supposed to take an off week, but actually they came harder than what they did before. So I guess we're back in business. I guess we're doing comics again.
Yeah.
And hopefully some lighter shit will happen next week so we can just have a fun week. I want to do a fun podcast one of these days.
This wasn't fun. You weren't having fun tonight.
I had fun, but I feel like I had to do like a moral obligation,
Yeah, let's talk about racism again.
Right. Woo!
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel. Okay, cool.